Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. And you know, that was Tabby Boy. So today I'm going to do a makeup tutorial. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stand-up desk back to where the lighting is better. And if you hear a motor in the background, that is a fan running. The drug dealers are being especially noisy right out front. I actually saw somebody counting out crack rocks and putting them on the hood of somebody's car. And I was just about to open up the window and give them a little bit of hell. But you know what? I don't need the heat, if you get my drift. So, first thing I'm going to do is, well, it would help it if I could bring my things closer. I'm going to tie my hair up. And there's one good thing that happened this week, which is why I'm doing this makeup tutorial. Some months ago, I thought I had lost my, what's the name of this palette? I'm going to show you. I thought I had lost this Color Festival palette. I thought I'd accidentally thrown it in the trash. And when I was digging around in the hallway, I found it. I was so psyched. I actually was going to buy 2 more copies of this because I got it on sale for $4. And anyway, you know when you have things in a shopping cart online and you leave them unattended for a while? Well, the prices went up again because sales cycles move around and stuff. But anyway, to refresh you guys' memory, since I think I reviewed this once and I did one look with this, but these are the colors. And let's play, shall we? Now, to save time, I already put foundation and eyebrows. That's the only makeup I have on. This foundation is what I've been using by The Ordinary. It's their coverage foundation, and as typically goes, I am using the lightest shade that they make. Otherwise, I just have to mix white with the foundation. This is my eyebrow color. I think I'm going to have to get a couple more of these because this seems to be the best match for my hair. But you know what? I don't like to look unglamorous on camera, so I'm going to go ahead and put lipstick on now. And I'm not going to use the monitor for my mirror because I don't really see all that well. And it appears this particular lipstick is broken off a little bit, so I have to be real careful so it doesn't all fall out. I'm just so stoked that I have this palette again. And part of why I like it so much is because of the price. But it really does have a lot of dramatic colors in it. This lipstick looks black, but it's actually an extremely dark purple. And it's by B&H Cosmetics. It's their ColourPop line. And the color is called Crash. And something tells me that the kind of crash they're talking about is not crash like car crash, but crash like crashing from drugs. Like if a person's on speed or cocaine, but specifically speed. And after being up for a while, you get tired and you do crash. And that's got to be why they call it this. So, this is the stuff that I use to apply to my eyebrows for the coat. It's by a company that looks like Sace Lady, S-A-C-E, but I think they pronounce it Sassy. And it's a company from China, and this is supposed to be like a under eye concealer or something. And I got the lightest shade they make, and it's number 01, but it's really not light enough. So I'm going to add something lighter to the brow bone. And as luck would have it, I have a color that's on here that is nice and pale. And I'm going to grab a brush from here. Shout out to the Washington, D.C. Public Library System. I love a good library, especially a library where people are quiet. And the Washington, D.C. libraries I've been in, okay, I've only been in 2 different branches. They were quiet and civilized. I wish more libraries were like them. I'm using a Wet n Wild brush, and I'm going to fairly generously coat with this, and this color is called Disco. And I'm just going to hit the brow bone with this. And this is nice and frosty and pale. Just getting it like this. I love brushes like this because they allow you to hug your eyebrow and get your color exactly where you want it. And this brush is also good for eyeliner also. And let's bring this up close to the wall. See if you can see any of that. And I want to take a look at my eyebrows one more time to make sure that they are completely symmetrical. Now, if I hear one more time some YouTubers say that your eyebrows are supposed to be sisters and not twins, I'm going to scream. Because I do feel, and most psychological studies seem to bear this out, that most faces are considered attractive the more symmetrical they are. So if symmetry is one of the ideals, then wouldn't it stand to reason that we do everything we can to make sure our eyebrows in fact do match as much as possible? So I'm going to, again, grab this computer and put it closer to the wall to get a really good look, since I obviously haven't fixed my lighting situation yet. And I'm actually using my monitor. Gotta do this carefully because I don't want to look like Picasso here. Now this color here, I believe this is the one from Sephora, or maybe it's the B&H one. This is, yeah, this is from B&H Cosmetics. I got it on sale for $3, and I don't have the readers on hand. Actually, they're over there somewhere, but I'm too lazy to go over to my bed. But this is either of these colors, either this one or the Sephora one, are almost identical. One wears a little bit better, and I forget which one sometimes gets a little bit feathery if you wear it an extended length of time, which is not good for lipstick, and it's not good for eyebrows either. But you know what? I'm not going to sweat if it's not 100% perfect, because it is now 11:33 p.m. and it's a Monday night, and I'm not planning on going anywhere except maybe to check the mail downstairs, because I haven't got anything from my wish order yet, and I'm really getting impatient because them slow boats from China, they're slow boats, and they take forever and a day. Alright. Oh, and I dropped more stuff. Yeah. Might as well use this to put the brushes in. Now, next thing I'm going to do is, this is a C brush from ELF, ELF, but no, let me get something that is bigger. And here, this is not a pre-rehearsed look. I'm just going to wing it. I took a look at my show notes to make sure that I'm not going to be duplicating the previous look that I created from this palette. So, oh, damn it! Well, I just dropped a whole lot of makeup brushes on this god-awful carpet. You know what? I'm not going to be too upset about it. I'm going to take a nice big fluffy brush. This is the B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. And I'm going to dip into a color called Pop. It looks like some kind of a lavender, kind of. Get a nice coating on this. And I'm going to do the crease area. Then hit the other eye. And this isn't very visible, but it's probably just as well, because that way, when I put other colors, they will be easier to blend. And just so that we see what this looks like so far. Now, some people will probably stop there because they like the natural look, but that's really not my bag. So, I am going to hopefully not drop these, because then I will not be thrilled. I'm going to take the B&H Cosmetics number 17, and I am going to hit this red color. It's a nice frosty red called Candy, and that's it here. And I'm going to get a nice bit on here, and then I'm going to go over the crease, but a little bit lower than it. And do the other side. But you know what? I don't see that enough, so I'm going to do it again. By putting that pale pink shade on the crease first, that gave a similar effect to when people use a powder on top of their primer, or the people who use those primers that dry, because a lot of people don't like a tacky eye cover because that ends up making the eyeshadows harder to blend. I usually like the tackier color. By tacky, I mean sticky, moist, because it allows the eyeshadows to show up much brighter, and it allows for a more graphic, more intense look, and any blending will happen when the shadow wears naturally throughout the day, unless you use setting sprays and all these different techniques that people use to get a longer look. And I haven't gotten enough personal experience with setting sprays to really be able to tell you anything. I have some that I ordered from Wish like a couple of months ago that I haven't even opened up yet. Here is another Studio Pro 17, and I am going to dip into a color called Sequence, which looks matte, and it looks like a berry kind of shade. And first of all, let's get up against the wall so you could see what this looks like so far. It's a shame that I don't have a way to get even closer, but I really don't want to drop this computer. It's still been acting up a little bit. And I'm getting in the crease again, but a little bit lower and a little bit, I'm going to kind of dig into it. I'm glad I have the fan on because I heard that there was a raid over the weekend. That day that I was running around doing errands, which was Saturday, and then going to see my friend play, I was told the police were hanging out a lot and dealing with the gangs and stuff, but I don't know who they may have picked off the streets because I still saw dealers and stuff today. Now on the boardwalk I smelled so much marijuana smoke. Oh, it smelled so good. I hope we vote for legalization. Oh, let's pull this up to the Alright, that still looks kind of subtle. And subtle is not going to be what this look is about. But you know who's going to be making an appearance right now? My Cassie girl. She's a natural beauty. Oh, yes, she is. Oh, this is my baby girl. My baby girl cat. I love my baby girl cat. You know, my baby. My baby. Oh, my baby girl. Everybody loves my kitties. You love me? I know you do. And you don't love Tabby Boy, do you? You know she don't love Tabby Boy. She does not love Tabby Boy. Oh, complain, complain. Sing the song. Sing the song to your people. You want to sing the song to your people, huh? You like being a video star? You say, put me down, man. Put me down. All right, I'll put you down. Can't find hand sanitizer close by, but this is 60% isopropyl alcohol. This will work. And when it evaporates, the germs are gone. And if enough of them aren't killed, well, let's lie and say they're dead. Okay, what shall we do here? I know. I'm going to use a real MAC brush that I found, not on the street in Washington, D.C., but actually in a church building. And that's kind of a long story, but I really appreciate it. It was great, 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 great find. I am going to get this bright blue here. It's called Denim. And now, usually brushes have a number. Okay, this is MAC 2723 or 2705. I don't know. Can you see that? Well, whatever it is. I'm using this bright blue. I used to call blue like this acid trip blue because I had a bathroom that was painted this color. It was an apartment I shared with, actually it was an apartment where there was one bathroom upstairs and there was one bathroom downstairs, and each room was its own little apartment, and it was a building full of punk rockers and hippies in Hollywood, of course. And so anyway, I always called this color acid trip blue because there was a memorable day where a bunch of us were frying on acid. So okay, I'm going to take this blue and I'm going to coat the rest of the blank eyelid space, but I'm not going to wing it out. I may wing it out later, but I just want to. And I'm going to repeat it on the other side. I think I'm keeping the inner corner more or less free so I could do something else with that. Now I'm going to check to see how symmetrical this is. This color really goes on nice and intensely. I love intense color. Love, 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 love. Oh, I want to get my heart bag. Hold on a second. Okay. I love this little thing. I need some sparkle. I don't know about you. I got lots of options here. You know what? I'm going to go for one of these liquid eyeshadows from Too Faced. It's a liquid glitter eyeshadow. Most of the colors I wanted were sold out, but that said, they usually run $25 a piece, and I got them for $5 because cheap is how I roll. And you know what? To me, that's still a little bit too much, especially considering that they're kind of neutral-ish. But this color is called Candied Rose. And it's, well, coppery, pinky, peachy, whatever. I'm going to go just in the inner corners, and let's see if this really shows up as well as I would like it to. I'm just... You probably can't even see that. Usually I like to diagram my makeup and just reference it, but I didn't do that. I think I need more sparkle. Well, here's what I'm going to use. This beautiful, beautiful palette. This is the Kat Von D Alchemist Holographic Palette, Face and Eye Highlighter. And now I want another smaller brush. It's another B&H Cosmetics 17. I have 3 of them, you know. And I think I will use Blue Sapphire. Is this one here? And right where... Wait a minute. I am going to reapply this. This will serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is it will make it more obvious. The second purpose is it'll provide extra moistness for this to show up. But I should probably let it dry just a little bit. Or, to help it to dry, I can move my head a little bit over here so that I can catch the breeze from the fan. So, I think I'm going to touch this to just above that dot that I made. And just in case I got a little bit of that pink glitter stuff on, I don't want the brush to have that because I don't want it to come off on here. Do the other side. Now I'm going to step back and see if it needs more. See what I'm doing? I'm doing like a half moon shape in the corner. Just enough to catch the light. Now let's back up so you can get a better look. You know what? I am going to do a little bit more of this so that the light hits it right. I'm going to go ahead and use this as a mirror. Now, what are we going to do for eyeliner? Ha! I'm going to try for something that seems like it's truly waterproof. And right now, the best waterproof eyeliner that I have, as far as liquid goes, is from one of these Asian companies. It's called Yanqina, Yanqina, and it says Waterproof Lash Eyeliner Pencil 36H for 36 hours. This looks very much like the Too Faced Better Than Sex eyeliner, which is supposed to be waterproof, but for me is not. But that said, Too Faced is a reputable company, and if you get something and it doesn't work for you, if you talk to customer service, they will do right by you. That has been my experience. They're very responsive. They're nice people. If you call them on the phone, you may very well get a supervisor, and he refunded my money and everything. Very nice. They're good, and they're American made, even though all these Chinese companies that I've been buying from, well, those aren't American made, but at least you don't have to deal with the woke politics and the racism and things, and it gets tiresome. It's good to keep this down here, make sure the gravity gets down here. I'm going to do a thin line on the upper lid, but I'm not going to wing it out yet. It's easier to do the wing after you've done the bottom, because then you can angle it right. Okay, now I'm going to have to clean up the under eye a little bit because I see the glue smeared. So, alright, I got a Q-tip here, and I'm going to take a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of foundation. Obviously, I do mean tiny. And first thing I'm going to do is wipe some, and then I'm going to look in the mirror, see if that did any damn bit of good at all. I didn't moisten this with anything, which maybe I should have, but so I didn't. So I'm gonna carefully put foundation back on. I very rarely use a concealer too. Usually I find foundation is opaque enough. It depends on a person's skin. If you have major discoloration, a foundation might not be enough for you. But if you stay out of the sun and you do good skincare, hopefully it should improve your skin to the point where you really don't even need to wear foundation. And half the time I don't bother wearing foundation. I have like a couple of freckles that I'm trying to fade, and like I have one or two spots down here, but other than that, half the time, and there are times when I have filmed and I didn't wear it, and especially with the pandemic and everything, and the foundation coming off on masks and things. I don't really think that my skin looks all that different either way, except for when I wear foundation, it can settle into the wrinkles, but I could worry about that a lot more than I do. I've got bigger fish to fry. So now I'm going to go back to my under eye with this eyeliner. Just hug the contours of the eye. I love to go down here and let's see how symmetrical I can get this. What do you think? We're not done yet. No. I don't always do things in the same order. This mascara here is Too Faced Better Than Sex trial version. And I know I've told you this before. I am quite happy with this mascara. It's not waterproof. I think they do have a waterproof version, but they want $25 for this normally. And I don't believe in paying $25 for a mascara. Even if it made something out of nothing. And there are more expensive mascaras than this, but I got a full-size Better Than Sex mascara and their Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. And I got the two of them together for $29. And then considering that the eyeliner did not work for me, not only did it not work for me, but it ran horribly one day when I was filming on the boardwalk. And I looked like such an Alice Cooper reject. When I'm filming out in public, I really don't want my makeup to run. I looked bad that day. And I don't like to look bad when I'm filming. Now, I've heard that when you show your imperfections, it makes you more relatable to people, and it can endear you to people. But then it brings out the trolls, too. So. And speaking of trolls, I had something weird happen to me this morning with regards to YouTube. You probably know by now that I have all my comments set to moderation, so that I have to see everything and approve of everything so that people can't slip things by me of a really defamatory nature. They can't try doxing or doing anything like that. Well, in my Gmail account, I was informed that I had a comment on my first live stream, which was the one that I filmed in the Best Buy parking lot. And somebody said some really obnoxious things. And as seems to happen 95% of the time, this is a person who is not a content creator, who only goes by a catchphrase for their non-existent channel, who does not show their face, and yet can be this keyboard cowboy, you know. And yet, I'm thinking, if I moderate comments, how is this person supposed to make a comment? And yet, when I went on the video itself to do something about the comment didn't seem to be there. And now, usually, on everybody's profile, there's a little icon that you can click to flag it for further review, you know, block them, do whatever. And I couldn't seem to find anything like that. So, anyway, that was... It didn't bother me that much that the person didn't like my channel. If anything, the fact that the video that they put it on suggests to me that maybe they were offended by my choice of words, or maybe, for all I know, the person that made that comment was a guilty party who done something to me. I may never know. They call themselves a gamer channel, And then the word gaming or gamer is on the channel name. But I believe they said that my videos were like dog shit or something. Well, but maybe they were offended at how I titled the video. But hey, I titled the video no different than how news outlets like to describe incidents where they insist on reporting the skin colors of people involved, especially if it's an interaction between races, especially if it's some kind of narrative that they're trying to create. And in my case, I wasn't trying to craft a narrative. I was stating facts. And since it was about a crime that I endured, I didn't feel that I had to hide behind political correctness. So, and if people were offended by my truthfully describing an incident that happened, I don't care. Frankly, I'm offended when people think that they have the right to attack other people. I'm offended at the people that think that they can cold cock somebody and punch them. I find that offensive, just like I find animal abuse offensive, just like I find beating up police officers offensive, just like I find defacing statues offensive, just like I find burning buildings, just like I find demonstrators that go screaming at people to get out of their homes at 3 a.m. and give up their houses because they're privileged, because they're white, and they should give their property off to underprivileged people who endured generations of poverty. And of course, it's always somebody else's fault because nobody accepts personal responsibility. So, unless I know that I'm deliberately doing something to be mean to a specific person, in which case that's the person who should have a beef with me. If my lack of political correctness offends the body politic or random bodies, I do not care. No, please tell me this eyeliner is not starting to raccoon on me. I'm going to do a close-up check of the look so far. Let's bring it up here. That still looks a little on the subtle side. What do you think? Or do you think I should stop? No, I'm not going to stop. But before I get to the rest of the eyes, I'm going to work on some face here. So, I'm going to dip into the Too Faced Christmas Star palette. I love opening it up. It just says, time for play. I just wish it had a mirror in it, but really, where would you fit a mirror in all this? So, I'm gonna use this nice brush from Ulta Beauty, and for my cheek color, I might as well use Up to Snow Good. Like I've said before, the nice thing about those cheek colors is they are sheer enough so that you can build your coverage. Let's do a slash here till it's a little bit too much. If you think this is too much, you should have seen me back in the day. I definitely went too heavy with my blush. To match the too heavy with my eyes and the too heavy with my mouth. The locals around here may have thought I looked too much like a painted lady or a tart, but I don't care. Because once I got to Hollywood, I felt the kind of popularity like I certainly never had here. Okay, let's see what this looks like up close. time for a highlighter. This comes with a highlighter, but it's really not light enough if you're really, 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 really pale like I am. So I'm going to go grab a highlighter. Oh, and I dropped some more stuff. Okay, there's two highlighters, one each in these palettes here. Now the Zodiac Love Signs has a more warm champagne highlighter, which isn't extremely blinding pale, but I want something a little bit lighter so it really shows up. So I'm going to use the highlighter that's built into the original Zodiac palette. Don't you love the covers on these things? And you see that this is frostier and lighter, more white. And I'm using the B&H Cosmetics Vegan, number 5, I think. It's a big, fluffy brush. And it's really great size and shape for a highlighter. And I'm going to follow where the light would hit, tapping. See, the light hits it. Some more. And I'm going to take that Q-tip, because it does look like I might be raccooning just a little bit. And accidental raccoon eyes are such a drag. Let's see. Under the theme of excess is best, I'm going to go back into the Christmas Star palette. And I'm going to use a little bit of the contour color. Even though when you're cool toned like me, you don't really want to use a warm highlighter. I never use bronzer. A lot of people, they do their contour color. A lot of times they'll use a bronzer and they'll go up here and they'll go down there and stuff. But that just warms up the face. And I am a white person. I don't want to look like a person of color. I want to look like who I am. There should not be any shame in that. I'm going to use what's actually a Vivace foundation brush, and I'm going to tap onto this color. It's called Chestnuts Roasting. Just a wee little bit, a little more than a wee little bit. This may or may not even show up, but I'm going to just a little bit. We'll get a little bit more on this brush. And just notice that I'm staying really back here. If you bring it all the way down here, it acts like gravity and it draws your face down. It will accentuate any jowling, any sagging, any loss of firmness. So you want to keep your blush and your contour and this. If you imagine dividing this half of your face into thirds, keep it the third closest to your ear. And if you want, you can blend a little bit. Let's get up close. I could keep it like this, but I want to do a little bit more. I'm going to get a smaller brush. And boy, I have a lot of brushes to wash now. After dropping all those brushes on my floor. And I'm going to wash them in antibacterial soap because this floor is god-awful filthy. it needs a hazmat people to do something about it. And the reason for that is because when I first brought Cassie in from where I got her, I had to put the litter box here. And you know, anything that a litter box touched, you got to kill those germs. And well, carpet cleaning is kind of expensive, and I'm not going to make that kind of investment in this trash heap. Okay, this is another Vivace brush. It's a takeoff on the C brush, and they're really great for depositing color. And let's see, what color am I going to use? I'm going to try something really, really dark and dramatic. I'm going to use this color to real dark purple, and it's called VIP. And I'm just going to, this is what it looks like here. And I'm just going to touch very gently. And I'm going to go in the outer corner and approximately where if I wanted to make a little outer V, see what I'm doing? It's here. I'm going to do this. I'm just adding a, can you even see this? You know, I played a little bit more with the camcorder this afternoon when I went in the garden. I'm really not comfortable with filming with it. One of the things that I really love about being able to film with my laptop is I can see myself in the monitor, so I know exactly what you guys see when I'm filming myself. Of course, when I'm using it to film outside, then sometimes I may be pointing it a little bit too high or a little bit too low. And at least when I use a camcorder, those things won't be an issue. But for self-filming, this laptop is just so much easier. Winging this out. Now let's see what this looks like up close. Oh, you know what? Sometimes when you do that, you make things worse. Take that Q-tip. Not genuine Q-tips. These are dollar store knockoffs, which are really dangerous for cleaning the inside of your ears, by the way. They're so easy to poke yourself. So when I clean my ears with these, I fold them in half to make them thicker. And then you've got to be so careful not to go down too deep. You know, my father used to, when his ears would get scratchy, he used to use bobby pins. He used to use all kinds of things. Drink stirrers, coffee straws, all kinds of things. It's a wonder he didn't destroy his eardrums. Okay, I'm gonna touch this to this again. Now, I'm gonna get another big fluffy brush, and I'm gonna do a little bit of blending on the outer corner. I'm not going for subtlety, I'm just going for a little tiny bit of softness, a little bit less graphicness on the outer edge. I don't think graphicness is a word. And I sure don't want to invent something that sounds like a bastardization of the English language. It seems to me that the people who ruin the language tend to be, for the most part, the very, very, very young. And of course, they don't think they're doing any ruining. They just, maybe they think they're being clever. I don't know. You know what? I did that blending a little bit too much, so I'm going to go back into this color and I'm going to basically redo what I did. And then I'm going to blend it a little bit more just by tapping this time. Now I'm going to repeat some of the things I already did. I'm going to go back into this tomatoey frosty red called Candy with the 17 brush, and I'm going to go back where I applied it before, and this will not only make it so that you could see the red, but it'll make up for a little bit of the smearing and blending that happened, which shouldn't happen this soon. I mean, considering that I'm still doing the makeup application, it shouldn't be blending already. I think this is due to the fact that my eyelids are kind of hooded because of gravity, loss of collagen, whatever. I think it's just gravity. And short of getting an eyebrow lift, there's not a damn thing I can do about it. And you know, the only way an eyebrow lift would be covered by insurance is if the eyelids were sagging so low that they were interfering with your vision. And though my vision is getting worse, it's not because of my eyelids. Now, I have an aunt who actually did get her eyelids lifted, but it was because it was interfering with her vision. And in that case, her insurance did pay for it. And she was telling my mother this last year or something. Let's see how this looks up close. What do you think? You think I should stop now? Okay. I think I can stop now. So, give you the full effect, take my hair down. How's the weather like where you are? I was cold all day today. The temperature went down to 45 degrees last night. Needless to say, there was no windows open. And I'm keeping the door to my grow room open so that it doesn't get too cold in there, because I have flowering and fruiting tomato plants in there. I have a sweet pepper plant in there. I have a lettuce plant in there. I have lentil plants in there. I have something else in there. But even though it was cold-ish today, like an hour before I was ready to go filming, see, I was going to wear a sweatshirt. And so the stockings and everything, and the skirt that I'm wearing, well, the skirt and stockings do go together. But then I started getting overheated. So I said, well, good, because it enables me to wear something that I think is more festive. I think many of you would like more than some big bulky sweatshirt, right? Okay. I think so. And most of these belts are put away. I know I gotta replace the thing, but you know what? It's imperfect. Just like I'm imperfect, and you're imperfect too, but that's okay. You know who's perfect? Cats are perfect. If you like dogs, and maybe you think dogs are perfect, or whatever your pets are, you notice they don't need makeup. They don't need plastic surgery. Well, dental care, if you can afford to give them dental care, yeah. But they're fine as is. They don't seem to have egos and vanity like humans do. Well, maybe they do. Who's to say? I can't get into Cat's head. But, I mean, they can be jealous. I definitely know that, seeing how Cassie and Tabby were But really, when you think of all the time and money that we humans invest in superficialities, all the money, all these things on externals, the money could probably be better spent. But I like beautiful things. I like beautiful people. I don't mind spending the time and the money to maintain, especially now if you're in the showbiz world, you can look at it as an investment in career. And if you're still single and you're hoping to have some kind of a social life, then there's a good chance that external attractiveness may be important to you. So I don't feel bad about it. My cats are still getting fed. Okay, so what do you think? Do you like it? If you happen to like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content and you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. If you do, hit that bell so you don't miss anything. I will talk to you in a couple of days. Don't get COVID, you guys. Please wear your masks. Stay away from people. We will get through this. Hang in there. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.